Hey guys, what's up? It's Dean with Manful Yoga. It is October 23rd and it's Friday, which means it's Ask Dean. So, this episode we're going to talk about lower back pain, namely stretching your piriformis and your hamstrings, your lower back. We're also going to talk about the best way to get started to do yoga, even if you're discouraged by looking at other books and other yoga videos. Two other questions. We're going to talk about disc herniations in L4 and L5 and how we can address that pain. And lastly, we'll talk about what I think about yoga or naked yoga for men. So let's go to the first question. Reading these off my laptop, which is why I'm looking over it awkwardly. So, first question comes from Josh Dolcic. We'll say it that. Help. Apparently, after all these years, all of my back problems are from tight hamstrings and piriformis. Is there one move to stretch the both simultaneously? And Josh posted this to my Facebook page earlier this week. Josh, I commend your level of ambition for trying to get both done in one pose. I guess that if you wanted to, you could kind of get both done if you did a figure four balance with a kind of a forward fold, like so. That'd be one way actually to stretch both the piriformis and your hamstring, as long as you were straightening the back enough. But for those of you who don't have balance and that amount of core strength, and also to get a more effective stretch, I'm just going to recommend that you do a basic pigeon pose, a figure four, reclined figure four. So essentially what I just did, like this, except on your back, grabbing your thigh, pulling it in toward you. I've got a full pose guide available at manfulyoga.com. You can also just search figure four recline stretch and you'll find it. Moving on to the next question. Oh, and for your hamstring, a seated forward fold is the best pose that you can do for hamstrings and lower back tightness. Question number 2 comes from Desi Rogers. And she says, Hi, Dean. I've been trying to get back into yoga and Pilates, and especially doing my own practice, like I see most people doing now, but I do not know where to begin. I've looked at many books and video, but all of it just discourages me. I really like your flow. So, which one of your videos do you suggest starting with? Thank you. I'm glad that you like my flow. Well, I recommend the same 2 videos, I guess the same video and the same Yoga Basics for Men Starters package that I recommend to everybody who asks me this question. The best video that I have to start is my 7 basic beginning postures for yoga, or beginning yoga postures video that I have on YouTube. It's the home video, so the video that you will see if you visit youtube.com/manful yoga, and it's called 7 basic beginning yoga postures for men, I believe, or something very similar to that. If you know you're ready to take the next step, then I recommend my Yoga Basics for Men Starters package, and that includes my 6 targeted workouts, beginner friendly. It also includes my Yoga Basics for Men ebook, which teaches you poses, their target areas, the technique, reasons why you want to do them, so practical reasons, why does it affect your body in a certain way. And that includes step-through technique for the step-by-step walkthrough for the technique of over 75 poses. So those are my suggestions to get started with the program. The next question comes from Michael Ronan Keller. And he says, Hey, Dean, question please. I have disc herniations at L4, L5 that I've dealt with for about 15 years now. Wow, that's a long time. What poses or strengthening techniques would you recommend for me? I already do a ton of pull-ups, push-ups, planks, squats, and etc., which help. Cobra and bridging causes issues for me, no matter how gradually I ease into it. I know if I can get my low back development to the point yours is in the photo, I will essentially have armor that will help me. Thoughts, please. Michael, so I think there's some things. So let me start off by saying you're doing a lot of the right exercises. Pull-ups, squats, planks, push-ups are fantastic full-body exercises, but I think the point that you're lacking is specifically core exercises. So like exercises like boat pose or an L-sit or a supine bicycle. Even though you're doing exercises that involve core, I think that the main movement involved in push-ups and pull-ups, which is obviously the pushing or the pulling, negates draws attention away from your core. So you're not really adequately addressing your core in those exercises just because you're focused on other things. So I recommend more core-specific exercises. Secondly, you might want to look into start doing, you need to start looking into spinal flexion exercises, or what are typically in yoga called forward folding exercises, as I just demonstrated. So the exercises that I'm going to recommend for as far as spinal flexion exercises to help with specifically L4 and L5 are, again, that seated forward fold, a standing forward fold, so just working on bending your knees and trying to get your hands to the ground and relaxing your upper body toward your legs. And let's see here. I know I might have said one other one, but the seated forward fold. Oh, child's pose is what I also wanted you to explore. So child's pose, very common yoga pose in yoga. Do a search, you'll find it, or go to my ebook, Yoga Basics for Men, and you'll find an in-depth explanation of child's pose there. So that's what I recommend for you. Child's pose, core exercises like boat, supine bicycle, and an L-sit, also called staff pose, and also a seated forward fold and a standing forward fold. So there you go. Jane Smith, last question. What do you think of naked yoga for men, and is this a legitimate thing to do? Why or why not? Thank you. Jane, I think that naked yoga started out with pure intentions. I think the goal was for people to be in a free environment where they weren't afraid to, not have any covering for their body and practice and gain confidence. And, so that's the original intention behind it. That's the pure intention behind it. However, pure intentions don't really play out the way that they're supposed to, right? So I think that the idea of it is great, but in reality, I think it's not something that I would consider doing, and I don't think there's a huge physical benefit to doing yoga naked in public. That's my personal opinion. You might like naked yoga and you might find it freeing, but it's not something that I would consider doing because, again, I don't see the physical benefit of it unless you're doing it at home by yourself and you're looking to save money on laundry. So that's my opinion, though. So if you've done naked yoga before and you find it and you love it, great, keep doing it. But I don't want to go with you. That's about it. Thanks for all those questions. For future questions, just respond here. Send me an email at askdean@manfulyoga.com. You can also ask questions on my Facebook page at facebook.com/manfulyoga. If you want to hear more content like this, if you want to get exclusive content that is not delivered anywhere else, not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on YouTube, sign up for my email list at manfulyoga.com/sign-up. And again, that's where I put all my exclusive content. I put out early product releases there, discounts, just a lot of things that you're not going to see in other places. And it's also the best way to stay in contact with me and know what's going on with Manful Yoga in terms of product releases, in terms of workouts that I put on YouTube, in terms of what I'm working on, etc. So that's the best way to stay in contact with me and learn about what's going on. So, by the way, if you have not downloaded the Manful Yoga app yet, it's available on both Android and iOS. That has a pose guide section as well as a routine section that's weekly updated. So, to those two guys that I answered before with specific pose suggestions, highly recommend you downloading the app and then just scrolling and looking for child's pose or looking for L-sit or looking for boat pose, and you'll find those technique walkthroughs on the app for free. So, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.